that the best party of the lot is going to be with the volunteers and participants. So thank you everybody for coming along. 2 years ago at, where was it at? Where did we have the party? It was at the Hilton Hotel. I stood there and I'd just been appointed, and I said that I'd come along to the festival to, you know, get a sense of how it was going, etc. And I'd been really amazed by how fantastic the volunteers were. And now 2 years later, you were even more fantastic. So thank you very, very much. And this year we've also invited along our participants as well, because this year there were more people involved in this festival than any other year as participants and volunteers. And we can sort of see that because we had to have such a huge venue for the party. 4,500 people were part of this festival as participants and volunteers, people who got involved in workshops, all sorts of different things. And it's really made a huge, huge impact on the city and on everybody who was part of the festival. I've been getting emails and messages from around the world in the last few days from people who visited from as far away as Australia, New York, China, talking about what a great experience they had. And the thing that they've mentioned more than anything else is the way in which they felt welcomed by the city. Lots of them talked about the magic blue t-shirt people who kept appearing when they were lost, looking for some strange musical installation, and someone would just suddenly appear and go, "Are you looking for such and such? Are you looking for Victoria Station? It's over there." So somehow you magically be able to manage to find every lost international visitor and point them in the right direction. I've also been having lots of messages from all the artists, ranging from Jeremy Deller, through to Nigel and Louise, through to the Fatherland Gang, through to Carl Hyde. So many of the artists who got an opportunity to work with you as participants and volunteers, and saying quite simply that they couldn't have made the work that they did without you. So for me, it will always be my favourite festival because it's the first one that I was involved in this way. But I hope for all of you it was a really, really great festival. It does feel like we connected to the city in truly deep ways. And one of the things that we want to do coming out of this festival is be more in touch than ever with each other in the weeks and months ahead. A lot of you will know that in 2020, just down the alleyway there, we're going to be building the factory, and it is going to be the festival now that runs the factory year round. So bad news, guys, or maybe hopefully it's good news, we're going to need volunteers and participants all the time. But the festival will stay the festival, and it will continue to spread all across the city into all sorts of different spaces, even when we've got the factory. And what we want to start doing now is looking at all the different ways. Some of you here were part before this festival in things like Festival in My House, and ways that we can spread the festival out in between times into different places and different spaces. So we're going to be thinking about that, and Julia, who's going to be coming on stage in a moment, is going to talk to you a bit more about how we do that and ways that we can all keep in touch. I also heard a rumour that the Fatherland choirs have already arranged to get together. So you might be organising loads of this by yourselves without any need for us to do it. But if there's ways that we can support you, then just let us know. So Julia will talk a bit more about different ways to stay involved. Lee's going to come up in a moment and say a big thank you from a volunteer perspective. I should say as well that the whole staff team at MIF, as I'm sure you know and experience, are completely extraordinary. But today it would probably be only right to give a particular big thanks to, first of all, the volunteer team. So Lee, Claire, Jackie, congratulations. And also to all the brilliant staff members, and it's too long a list to read out, that are part of the Creative Learning team and that were a huge part of recruiting participants and supporting. So Creative Learning team. So finally, to you guys, from me personally, thank you so much for making my very first festival as artistic director so special. every time one of you would come up to me on the street during the festival or in Festival Square at a show going, "It's going great, it's going all right, keep going." And it was such a boost, and I really, really appreciated it. It's been one of the, 18 of the most extraordinary days of my life. So, thank you very, very much. And
thanks, John, and thanks everyone so much. For those who don't know, I'm Lee. I'm MIF's volunteer manager. Thank you so much, everyone, really, for coming to tonight's event to celebrate your contribution to staging MIF 17. This festival, as you probably know, we had more volunteers than we've ever had before, close to 450 of you. So thank you so much to all of you for being a part of it. You did more shifts than ever before, you contributed more hours, more time to the festival, and you were part of literally every MIF commission that we had this year. So it's not a stretch to say that we literally couldn't have done it without your help and support, so thank you so much, everyone. On a more personal note, Jackie, Claire and I have absolutely loved being part of your community, which is just one of the warmest, most positive communities to be a part of. So thank you so much for welcoming us to that. It's just a lovely experience for all of us involved in the festival this year. I'm not going to get emotional, I'm going to hold it together. As John said, we're hoping you'll join us in 2019, but more than that, we're hoping you'll keep in touch with us in the mere 700 and odd days until the festival of 2019 through all the different ways that you can do that. Thank you all so much. I'd now like to welcome MIF's Director of Creative Learning, Julia, onto the stage.